This video is a guide on how to play as the Bohmerk in Dark Venture Battle of the Ancients. The Bohmerk are an aggressive faction that can multiply and grow like a plague on the map. If you haven't looked at my video about the core rules on how to play Dark Venture Battle of the Ancients, be sure to click the link in the description below. The Bohmerk are a vile plague of terrors from the deep. They are amorphous, gelatinous, tentacled creatures that can shapeshift into various shapes and sizes. The bodies of their prey and the materials that they can find in the environment are quickly dissolved with powerful acids, allowing these repugnant creatures to grow larger and more powerful. The Bohmerk have 4 special abilities: grow, gather, absorb, and split reform. Their growth ability allows the Bohmerk player to spend 2 skull dice to upgrade a unit's strength or defense stat by 1, replacing the token with the corresponding upgraded token from their dashboard. There are 6 possible combinations of upgraded stats on the Bohmerk dashboard. For the gather ability, a Bohmerk unit can spend 1 movement or 2 skull dice in an attempt to collect wood tokens from any area with shrubs, trees, or wooden objects. They can also collect ore from any of the areas with rocks, stone paths, or stone floors. Unlike some factions, they cannot use these materials to construct barriers. Instead, they can be absorbed. Absorb is a powerful ability that allows a Bohmerk unit to perform a growth action, but instead of spending skull dice, the unit absorbs a defeated enemy unit, or absorbs 2 resources, or absorbs any item that is incompatible with the Bohmerk faction. Just like the growth ability, this upgrades the unit by 1 strength or 1 defense stat. The split reform ability is probably the trickiest to use correctly. Only once per turn, any number of Bohmerk units sharing a space may merge or split into smaller or larger units, as long as the total strength and defense of the split or reformed unit adds up to the strength and defense of the original units. This action costs nothing, but as stated before, it can only be done once per turn. For example, I could take these 2 S1D1 Bohmerk units and merge them into an S2D2 Bohmerk creature. Alternatively, I could take this S3D3 Bohmerk Terror and split it into 3 smaller S1D1 units, or into 1 SD1 and 1 S2D2 unit. This action does not cost anything, but I cannot take any further split reform actions on any other Bohmerk units within this turn. This can be used to spread out across the map, expand your forces, consolidate your strength, or even to collect multiple cards from an action draw token. For the growth, absorb, and split reform abilities, if the required unit token is not available on the dashboard, then that transformation cannot occur. Additionally, due to their gelatinous nature, the Bohmerk do not suffer movement penalties for entering a water tile. The relentlessly aggressive nature of the Bohmerk has caught the attention of the Ancient of Death, Dorgat Celt. This very powerful ancient can be summoned by completing the following 3 objectives in any order: by creating and controlling 2 fully grown S3D3 Bohmerk Terrors, by defeating and absorbing 2 enemy units, and by drawing a total of 5 cards. Once all 3 objectives have been achieved, the Bohmerk have won the favour of the Ancient of Death, and they can spend 2 skull dice to transform any S3D3 Bohmerk Terror into the Ancient of Death. Even though Dorgat Celt doesn't have a particularly high defense value for an ancient, his aggression is unmatched with a terrifying strength value of 6. Additionally, the Ancient of Death's divine power allows the Bohmerk player to instantly win combat against any non-ancient enemy unit. This powerful ability can only be used twice in the entire game. The Bohmerk victory point objectives can be found at the bottom of their faction dashboard. When a Bohmerk player spends 4 skull dice in a single turn to upgrade their units, they gain 1 victory point. For every 5 cards a Bohmerk player draws, they gain another victory point. And once per game, when a Bohmerk player controls 2 fully grown S3 D3 units, they gain a once-off victory point. A Bohmerk player needs to be as aggressive as possible and should attempt to absorb as many enemies as they can to help grow their plague across the board. Overall, I find the Bohmerk to be one of my favourite factions due to the wide variety of character art for each of their units and their aggressive playstyle. The Bohmerk are a fast-moving and dangerous faction that can grow out of control when left unchecked. However, Bohmerk players need to balance the 4 faction abilities carefully to ensure that they're getting the most out of each of their units. At the time of upload, the second printing of Dark Venture Battle of the Ancients and all of its expansions are available for pre-order. Be sure to check out the link in the description below if you want to get a hand on a copy. Once again, thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to keep an eye out for the remaining 2 faction videos. See you next time.